Wow. 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 He's gone. He's gone. Dewsnip is gone. I don't believe it. I don't believe it. He's actually gone. Mental. Absolutely mental. Well, hello everybody. Welcome to a new live. I'm doing a live because I know I will not be able to fit all this in a YouTube Shorts. If you've all seen the news, you've just seen the breaking news. Neil Dewsnip has left Plymouth Argyle Football Club. Our director of football has left Plymouth Argyle Football Club, which means we can now move on. I'm not going to be, I will say this now, by the way, I'm not going to be all this like, brilliant news, he had to go. I'm not going to be like that because, yes, I know his last two appointments were an absolute disaster. I know the last two appointments were an absolute disaster, but the truth is, and I know I was losing faith with Dewsnip. You could tell from the performances we were putting in from end of last season and for parts of this season, like the Norwich game, the Bristol City game, the Coventry game, the Oxford game. He had to go, but I can't ignore the fact that we wouldn't be in the Championship right now if he didn't contribute. He helped us get from League 2 to the Championship. If any Argyle fan does forget that. And I know I've been so critical of him lately, and I made my honest opinions that he had to leave the club, but it's now officially been confirmed that he's left. I've just got to say thank you to everything he's done for the football club, but he had to move on. He had to move on. Foster was a disaster, as we all know. Rooney ended up being a disaster, which means he had to go. He had to go. So, to put it simply put, I know I'm looking at Planet Ball's comments saying, I commented about this a couple of weeks ago on one of your shorts, but nothing was fully confirmed. It was just sources from journalists. So I didn't want to believe proper until the club's confirmed. But just 15 minutes ago, the club has just confirmed that he's left. I just subbed. Can I get a shout out? Yeah. Thank you, Jack. I appreciate that. I'll have a look. I'll have a look at your channel. So that's that, really. Anyways, simply put, Dewsnip, thank you for everything. Thank you for everything. I know you had to move on. I know I've been very critical of you, but if you are watching this, mate, we would never be back in the league where we belong if it wasn't for you. So I appreciate everything you've done for us, and I couldn't thank you enough for that. Who do you want as replacement to Dewsnip? I'm going to be brutally honest. I have no clue. I have no clue, because I have no clue who I feel could come in as a director to take over. A lot of people would say they'd want Neil Warnock to come in from Torquay, but I just don't see it happening. I don't see it happening because I know him and Paul Watson, obviously two Argyle legends, they're going to be wanting to take a club that's used to being in League 2, like Torquay, back in the EFL. Because that's what Torquay's been for most of their history anyways, a League 2 football club, with occasional seasons in League 1, a bit like Exeter. They've been in the National League before, and obviously they're trying to get out of the National League South as of now. I'm just looking at the rest of the comments for the time being. I am pretty sure this was before Miron Muslic was manager. I think that's why he's gone, because of the Muslic appointment. And I'm going to say this now. Has anyone seen the first speech Muslic has done at the club? It's unbelievable. What a speech. What a speech. He pretty much, simply put, said to he pretty much said, simply put, to the players, football is not easy, and that's why you're here, And that's why it's hard. Honestly, go and watch it on Instagram. Go and watch it on Instagram, because it is a phenomenal speech from Miro Muslic. And obviously tomorrow is our first game under him against Oxford at home tomorrow night. A massive game at Home Park. I'm not in Plymouth at the moment. I'm in Southampton at the moment. I've stayed at a friend's house that I went to uni with after I completed all those FA Cup games. I have got one more FA Cup game coming on the channel, by the way, before we play Oxford. It's not tonight, by the way. I'm no way I'm going to Millwall tonight. I've already ticked off Millwall anyways. You'll see which video it is, because I did tick off a new ground yesterday, and I'm working on that one at the moment. If you haven't watched my Brentford video yet, please go and watch it, because honestly, it's genuinely one of the best away days I've ever had. Well, not Brentford as an away day in itself, but just like obviously what happened with the game and all that. Like, we haven't won an away game for 9 months. We haven't won an away day since Rotherham last April. And now that feels like a million miles away. And that was just after Ian Foster left the club. Before that, it was Middlesbrough, which was 11 months ago. Swansea, which was also 11 months ago. And then before Swansea, it was Port Vale in May 2023. And I couldn't go to that match, sadly, because I was saving up for, obviously, last season. So before that, for me, that I went to, it was Shrewsbury. The utter limbs at Shrewsbury when Callum Wright scored that winner. One of the best away days I've ever done, that Shrewsbury night. Oh, I can't believe it. That is the breaking news. Dewsnip is gone. I'm just going to see what other comments are said for the time being. Was you jumping of joy after seeing that 4th round draw? I cannot believe we've got Liverpool in the next round. It's going to be our first game against Liverpool since 2017, back when Jurgen Klopp was their manager and back when Derek Adams was our manager. Liverpool had the likes of Sadio Mane, Felipe Coutinho, Jordan Henderson, Loris Karius, Simon Mignolet, all in the squad. Emre Can, while we had the likes, and Firmino, while we had the likes of Craig Tanner, Graham Carey, Jordan Slew. Luke McCormick, of course, was our keeper. In fact, 16-17 was McCormick's final proper season as #1 keeper before we signed Remy Matthews for 17-18, who is, of course, now at Crystal Palace. And then we don't talk about 18-19 because that was Matt Macey and he was a disaster. He was pretty much one of the reasons why we got relegated back to League 2 in 2019. Who else did we have in 16-17 against Liverpool? Gary Miller, Oscar Frelkeld, who's currently at Torquay. Memories. They were memories. They were memories in 2016-17. And we took Liverpool to a 0-0 draw at Anfield, if anyone remembers. It was a phenomenal result for us. Jurgen Klopp went mental after the game. He came up with... and I don't get me wrong, I absolutely love Jurgen Klopp. I think he's a fantastic manager, obviously, first of all. And second of all, I just think he has a brilliant personality. So I have nothing against Klopp whatsoever. But I didn't agree with what he said after the game when we drew 0-0 with Liverpool. He basically said, in his impression voice, if I didn't play youngsters, I think we would have won that. So I'm like, but that's your fault for picking them in the first place then, Jurgen. That's how I put it. But yeah, that's what he said after the game. I'm not even joking. But to be fair to Liverpool, they got the job done in the second leg at Home Park, in the replay. Of course, which sent Liverpool through, of course, as a result of that. That is the last time we played Liverpool, and now this season it's going to be even more significant and more harder for Liverpool because we're in the Championship and not in League 2. And this time, it's different. Because back then when we played Liverpool, Liverpool were not the Premier League leaders. The Premier League leaders were Chelsea, and Chelsea and Tottenham were the two best sides in the league, in the country. This time, Liverpool are top of the Premier League, so this is going to be a lot more significant now when we face Liverpool next month. It's going to be a strong Argyle Championship side against the best team in the Premier League, to put it bluntly. I'd even argue to say they're probably the best team in the world right now. I'd say it's either them or Barcelona, as it stands. And as you can imagine, that's my prediction for the Champions League final at the moment. I think it'll be a Liverpool-Barcelona final, but we will see. Time will tell. time will tell. So yeah, as you can imagine, our match against Liverpool on the 8th of February is going to be a lot more significant this time. The only downside is that because the FA are a disgrace for getting rid of the replays, we cannot take Liverpool to a second leg at Anfield. We would be going to Anfield if we held them to a draw, if the FA simply didn't get rid of the bloody replays. Pain in the arse. Honestly, a pain in the arse. Otherwise, we would have been rewarded with potentially a video at Anfield on this channel, but it hasn't happened. It's not going to happen, sadly, which means what we need to do in that 4th round match against Liverpool is just simply give it everything. I know that Muslic is going to start our strongest side against Liverpool, and I know you might think, oh, Jack, that's going to be so putting off for our league form. No, it's not. If you're going to play the best team in the country, you've got to put your strongest team out. 100%. 100%. That's what dreams are made of in the FA Cup. Obviously, we did it in 21-22 when we had my dream fixture at Stamford Bridge, because Chelsea's my favourite Premier League team, because my dad's a Chelsea fan. And the limbs when Macaulay Gillespie put that in the back of the net to make it 1-0 was mental. And it just shows you've got to bring and show and play your strongest team against teams like a Liverpool, a Chelsea, an Arsenal, a Man United, or a Man City, or a Tottenham in the FA Cup. Or if you're going to say more recently, an Aston Villa or Newcastle, given the squad depth they've got as well. So I'm really excited for it. I mean, I'm not expecting anything from that match at home. I do think Liverpool will comfortably win. But we will see. We will see. If we cause an upset, though, against Liverpool, it's going to be absolutely mental. It's going to be absolutely mental. And if we do cause an upset, one, we're going to be in the 5th round, and two, it does mean Liverpool are going to be given that chance now to focus on the Premier League and the Champions League. So we'll see what happens. But even if we get knocked out, we can just then spend the rest of the season focusing on the Championship and staying in the Championship where we want to be. The last thing we want is to go back down to League One, especially with all the feel-good positive factors that are happening at the moment with our football club. The speech from Muslic was amazing. Everything feels good from that Brentford game. And now Dewsnip's left the club. The total correct decision from Plymouth Argyle, this is. The total correct decision. And there we are. What other comments have I had? Not surprised this has happened about Dewsnip. I do like the look of Miron Muslic. We need at least another 3-4 players in the window, though. I do agree. We do need more players in the window. Obviously, so far, I know it's early to say, but so far, we are not missing Lewis Gibson. I'll tell you that now. We are not missing Lewis Gibson so far, because Pleggy has replaced him in that starting 11 and has been absolutely brilliant ever since he's done that. But we do need another centre-back for depth. We need depth in our team. So, yeah, there is that as well. I've been given a Messi or Ronaldo question. The most social media'd question in social media history, where everyone argues like a 15-year-old. Messi or Ronaldo? I've never answered this on the channel before, have I? I will say this. I know Rosevear and Liam are going to say Ronaldo, because United's their favourite Premier League team, and they absolutely love CR7. They're both brilliant in their own ways. So, Personally for me, the GOAT is Diego Maradona. Personally for me, I think he is the greatest footballer to ever exist. But out of those two, if I'm going on goals, who I'd want to rely on more for scoring, it'd be Ronaldo. But if I'm going on like controlling the game, dribbling, tearing defences apart, I'd go with Messi. Personally, if I had to choose, I'd say Messi, but that's a hard one. It depends on what factor you want. If you want clinicality, you want Ronaldo. If you want controlling the game and all that, tearing defences apart with your dribbling, I'd say Messi. That's what I would do. But anyways, enough talking about those two. Here we go. I reckon Dewsnip wanted Shuey back and obviously signed Muslic, so he left. Yeah, maybe. Well, Harvey was saying to me the other week, Rosevere this is, not Harvey England's. Rosevere was saying to me the other week that, how do I put it? There was a possibility that Shuey coming back would result in Dewsnip leaving. And that's where I wouldn't have minded Shuey back. But I didn't want Shuey back, personally. He wasn't my first choice. I wanted someone new in. And pretty much, if Shuey came back, he would have to win the fans back regardless. And that just proves all along that if Henry's rumour is right, that just proves all along that Shuey should have never left the club in the first place. And I still will not forgive him for that bloody move to Stoke. Still a disgrace. And Stoke, he's not even at Stoke anymore. What did he even make Stoke, even, as well? He didn't take Stoke to the playoffs, did he? He didn't take Stoke to battling to top half. So there we are. There we are. So I think it would have been a backward step anyways if we had Shuey, especially if we went down. I'm so looking forward to seeing what Muslich shows at this football club. That speech was amazing. I was so starstruck from it. I really hope we can all get behind him now. I really hope all the players can get behind him now. We all unite. We all work as a fan base and as a team. And Plymouth Argyle stay in the Championship for another season where we want to be. Because we in the Southwest do not want to be back in League One. We in the far Southwest need to be in the Championship, at least, for every reason. The region, the counties, the city, everything. Absolutely everything. We cannot afford to have the same old yo-yo or traditional Championship League One clubs that go down and up again. We need change. We need an established Championship club to take our place and get relegated to League One instead. We need a shocker of a prediction for them to go down to League One instead. I'm talking about Luton, because they could very much get back-to-back relegations. We've got to stay in this league for every single reason possible, and we'll lose so much money if we go back down to League One. I mean, yes, if we do go back down to League One and finish 22nd with Muslich can definitely take us back up again. It just depends on how we would start League One. We'll see. I'm confident that we are going to stay up, to be honest. Everything feels so good about Argyle right now. We just have to keep this feel-good factor going. This is a massive week for our football club coming up. With Oxford at home and QPR at home. 2 must-wins. I think we will win them both as well. They are 2 must-wins. Gary Rowett needs to be worried for tomorrow night. Martí Cifuentes needs to be worried for Saturday. Someone's got to end QPR's good form. Someone has got to end QPR's good form. And I feel like the club that can do that can be us. And they don't have the prettiest of records at home park anyways. If we get 6 points this week, before we play Burnley and Sunderland, it will be absolutely huge. And because we've got Liverpool in the FA Cup, our game at Kenilworth Road at Luton has been postponed, and it will be later on in the season. So we're going to have a game in hand either way at Kenilworth Road in Bedfordshire. And we know if we win that later on in the season, then it's going to be huge for us. And we've got all these huge away days coming up, like Hull, the Dockyard Derby against Pompey. Both games we need to win. And then you've got the home games. Derby, Cardiff, Sheffield Wednesday, Coventry, the list goes on. And we've even got the Riverside at Middlesbrough to come up still. And that's a football ground that we have a perfect record at. Middlesbrough have not beaten us once at the Riverside, every time we've played them there. So if we can do that in April again, massive, absolutely massive. So, yeah, a massive week coming up for the football club. It really is. Arne Slot coming to Home Park will be an amazing sight. That's what I mean. Like, it will be a different Liverpool coming to Home Park this time. It won't be Jurgen Klopp this time. It'll be Arne Slot coming to Home Park this time. We're going to have Salah versus Mumba, Diaz versus one of Powson, Shooks or Pleggy. I just want to see a scrap between Virgil van Dijk and Joe Edwards, two passionate powerhouses, to then pretty much see how much the players are so passionate in wanting to win this game. Simple as that. Or a scrap between Ryan Hardy and Andy Robertson, two Scotsmen. It'd be limbs. It'd be so funny. I think I might be wrong on this, but I think they actually personally know each other as well, Andy Robertson and Ryan Hardy. I could be wrong, but I think that might be because of Ryan Hardy's trials to be in the Scottish national football team. But he hasn't had a call up yet. We got a Newcastle fan in the stream. I'm going to Newcastle versus Fulham. Go and enjoy that, mate. Go and enjoy that, mate. I really want to tick off Newcastle, so that sounds like a cracking away day. I'd love to tick off the Geordies for an away day. I'm staying there on Friday night, actually, for our trip to Sunderland. So I'm really looking forward to it. It's Harvey Rosevere's birthday weekend as well. So going to be a mental week, and I don't want to go at 3 a.m. in the morning on the Saturday, because then I'll be so tired at the Stadium of Light all day. So yeah, simple as that. Prediction for Liverpool on the 8th. On the 9th. Well, I'm only saying the 8th because that's the date confirmed at the moment, but Alex is right that it could very much be a TV game on the Sunday. I think Home Park is going to be rocking for a game against Liverpool. It's going to be absolutely rocking. And it's going to be packed and everything. I do think we'll lose, but I don't think we're going to give it easy for Liverpool. I'm going to say 2-0 to Liverpool. I think they'll get 2 goals at the end. I think it'll be 0-0 at half-time. We'll hold our own, and then I think Salah will come on second half and he'll get a double. That's my prediction. I think we will give Liverpool a hell of a game. I think we will make Liverpool work for it. But it won't be easy. That's my prediction. I'm going to say either 2-0 Liverpool or 2-1 Liverpool. No, you know what? Fuck it. We're going to go 2-1. Get a goal in the first half. Be 1-0 up, just like at Stamford Bridge. Just like at Stamford Bridge. And Home Park goes rocking. 2-1 Liverpool, that's my prediction. We're 1-0 up at half-time. Liverpool get 2 goals at the end. That's what I think will happen. It'll be heartbreaking, but at least we can be proud of the performance then. So, yeah. That's my prediction, 2-1 Liverpool. What's Planet Ball said? Because I know Planet Ball is a Liverpool fan, so that's why I'm looking at his comments. We'll probably rotate in that game, but the game will defo be more significant than last time because both sides are in a better position than they were in 2017. That's very true. That's very true. We will play our strongest team, I reckon. Liverpool, I think, will make some changes. One person I will say that will start for Liverpool, by the way, at Home Park. And I'm going to say this now because he played against us both times when he was at Bolton. Connor Bradley. If anyone's going to start for Liverpool at Home Park, it's going to be Connor Bradley. He was amazing when he was at Bolton in the year we went up. And obviously we drew 0-0 with them away. We beat them 2-0 at home. And even then, Bradley still played very well. And then obviously the disastrous day at Wembley where Bolton won 4-0. If anyone's going to start for Liverpool against us, it'll be Connor Bradley because he knows how to play against our football club. You can tell from that season in League One on how much of a talent Connor Bradley honestly is. If anyone's going to start for Liverpool, it will be him. The goal scorer for us, I don't know. I'll probably be... I want to say Whittaker, but it depends whether Whittaker's still with us by the Liverpool games. I don't know if anyone else has seen this news as well, but Burnley have bidded for Morgan Whittaker this week, but not just Burnley. Burnley aren't the only ones. The other one that's bidded for Whittaker, and this is really concerning me, this is, Hull have bidded for Whittaker as well. I'm going to say this now. We cannot afford to sell Whittaker to Hull City. It would be a disastrous transfer for us. Hull are a direct relegation rival to us this season. There is no way in a million years that our football club should sell Morgan Whittaker to Hull. That would be an absolute disastrous transfer for that. And it'd be an absolute disastrous transfer if we did that. I hope, if Morgan wants to leave, And if he does, then fair enough. Then Burnley need to cash in an agreement with us, because every Argyle fan should want and rather Morgan Whittaker to go to Burnley than to Hull. Burnley are fighting for the autos, for crying out loud, and Hull are right next to us in the table. He's got to go to Burnley out of those two. We cannot afford to sell him to Hull. We cannot afford to sell him to the Tigers. It would be a disaster. We have to sell him to the Clarets. If Burnley really wants him, it's as simple as that. And we'll get good money from Burnley as well. But Argyle have rejected both Burnley and Hull as of today. So I'm glad we have rejected Hull at least. But if Burnley really want him, if Burnley so desperately want him, they've got to give us a hefty amount of money if they want him. Honestly, give us fucking 15 million, 20 million, Burnley. And then that's fine. We've got that then for the window. Simple as that. Simple as that. I don't know. We'll see what happens, but I'd much rather him go to Burnley than Hull. It would be absolutely fucking stupid if he went to Hull. Absolutely stupid if he went to Hull. Burnley are in a different position this season to us, whereas Hull aren't. Be such a downgrade if he went to Hull. It would be an upgrade if he went to Burnley. I know Leeds want him as well. I know, well, not Leeds don't want him, but like Leeds fans really want him. So they're another club I wouldn't mind selling him to. If we're going to sell him to any club in the Championship, it has to be one of Burnley, Leeds, Sheffield United or Sunderland. No one else. No one else. It has to be one of those four. And if not, we sell him to the Premier League instead, to a Southampton or a Leicester or a Wolves. Ipswich probably won't go for him with the amount of players they've signed anyways, and they're about to get Philogene anyways. They've now got Jaden Philogene, so I don't see Ipswich getting him anyways. Or even Brentford. Brentford were linked with him last summer, for crying out loud. And he's just gone and scored against Brentford. And I guess there is that saying, if you can't beat them, join them. I don't know. But that's my reaction to Whittaker at the moment. If we want to sell him, we have got to sell him to one of those four clubs at the top of the table. No one else. If not, sell him to the Premier League, to a Wolves or a Leicester or a Southampton or a Burnley. I mean, I'm in Southampton at the moment, so that's that really. The only downside with him selling him to Southampton is that, well, he'll be back in the Championship anyways. I mean, it would be smart from us, because I don't see Saints staying up anyways at all. I don't think anyone does. They're 10 points adrift. But he would be in the Championship next season regardless if we moved him to Saints. So, but it would be a smart transfer, so I wouldn't mind it. But we'll see. We'll see. But like I said, we cannot afford to sell him to Hull. That's such a bad move if we sell him to Hull. Burnley is fine. Leeds is fine. Sunderland is fine. Sheffield United is fine. And then someone like Leicester, Southampton, Wolves, they're fine. Do not fucking sell him to Hull, Argyle. That'd be awful if we did that. It would just remind me of Shuey's deja vu moving to fucking Stoke last season. So there we are. Let's see what other comments have been said. Argyle beating Brentford and going to face Liverpool while we've been eliminated in a penalty shootout to yeah, Hull got knocked out by Donny, didn't they? Ugh. It's a close game, to be fair, Hull Doncaster. They're not far from each other at all. So I'm not surprised Donny was well up for it. Alex is saying Pele's the GOAT. Yeah, fair enough. Maradona is the best, according to Charlie, so he agrees with me. Shuey to Luton. See, that's the only thing that worries me, is who Luton now sign as their next manager. That's the only thing that worries me on who Luton sign as their next manager. Because, I mean, I very much could be wrong by this about May. We'll see what happens. But I'm confident. I'm not too worried for both Hull or Cardiff. I genuinely see Cardiff going down. Obviously, I might speak too soon, but I haven't rated Omar Reza. It doesn't look like he's going anywhere. And their ownership's in the mud at the moment. I think the fans have had enough with Vincent Tan. Hull remind me of Birmingham last season. And I said this in a stream the other week. I said this in a live the other week. Birmingham getting rid of Eustace and then bringing in some terrible appointments. Hull did the same thing with Rosinia and not replacing the team that was battling for playoffs. They're the two I'm not as worried about in the survival relegation battle at the moment. But we'll see. I don't want to get too carried away and underestimate them. But Luton, Pompey, Oxford, they're the ones I'm worried about. Stoke I'm 50-50 on. Stoke I'm 50-50 on because while they have been awful, they've got the best keeper in the league and they've got a cracking appointment in Mark Robbins. But even then, Stoke can't last a manager for 2-3 months now these days. So I will see how it goes. I'm confident Oxford will stay up with Rowett. And that does concern me. For me, it depends on Luton, because I really could see Luton going down, honestly. And they do not look good at all. They really do not look good. But it just depends on who they appoint now, because Rob Edwards is gone. I wanted Rob Edwards to stay for the whole season. Then I'd be more confident, but no. And then Pompey depends on how much Messinio's been backed. It depends for me how much Messinio gets backed at Pompey this window for the rest of the season. And they've just been knocked out of the FA Cup too by Wickham. They all have. Luton got knocked out by Forest and Oxford got knocked out by the Scummers. Oxford got knocked out by Exeter. Shuey would get you automatically promoted if you went down, though. That is true. See, that's the thing. If Luton go down, I can see them going straight back up. It just depends on who they'd sign. And they have had a god-awful transfer window this summer. So, God knows who they're going to bring in January. Even if you cause an upset, I won't be that frustrated as we can focus on more important matters, the Premier League and the Champions League. Yeah, fair enough. I mean, if you're a Premier League club like Liverpool, Chelsea, Man City, Arsenal, Man United, obviously your top aims are going to be the Premier League and the Champions League. I know you'd want to win the FA Cup. I know you'd want to win the Carabao Cup, and you'd be absolutely stupid if you didn't want to win them. But if you're a club of that calibre, you're obviously going to want to aim for the Premier League most, then the Champions League. Simple as that. Simple as that. The football Shuey played was perfect for our club with a 5-back and 2 cams, and how Joe Edwards and Nance have been setting up recently have maybe missed his tactics and style. Yeah, fair enough, Henry, fair enough. Well, I want to say a massive thank you to Joe Edwards and Nance, by the way, because they've done everything they could to beat managers between Rooney's departure and the arrival of Muslic, and they've done a really good job once again. And Joe is going to be back playing for us very soon. I don't know if he's going to be ready yet for tomorrow, but I'm confident he will be back for QPR on Saturday. So I'm so looking forward to his return. And that's the other positive with Argyle at the moment as well, is that all the players we've had injured are now all coming back. And Oxford have had the same story a few weeks ago, because we've had so many out. We've had so many out. We had Whittaker out, we had Bundu out, we had Joe Edwards out, we had all sorts out. So that's that really. We had that Connor Hazard out, he's back. I was not expecting Bundu on the bench on Saturday at Brentford, and he was on the bench. So yeah, honestly, all these players are now starting to come back. Sissoko's back, we've badly missed him. I'm very excited on what this season now does. We can rescue it. We're in a much better position at the bottom of the league than Rotherham was, than Blackpool was, than Peterborough was. We're only 3 points adrift of getting out of the bottom 3. We are definitely capable of still being in this league for next season. 100%. 1,000,000%. And I believe that we will still do it. Honestly, I believe that we will do it. Honestly. Time will tell. Time will tell. If Rooney was still manager right now, I would not be feeling the same, to put it bluntly. If Rooney was still manager now, I would not be feeling the same. But thankfully, the board listened to me at the right time, and I said he had to go after Oxford, and then he left by mutual consent. So if this all goes tits up now, then how do I put it? I've only really got myself to blame, but I did ask for it, so we'll see. We'll see. We've got to be behind Muslic. I mean, the Europa League to Britain's Ocean City, what more could you ask for? And it's our first non-Scouse manager since Derek Adams in 2019. Because ever since 2019, we have had a range of Scousers. And that's what led to the rise of Neil Dewsnip hiring Ryan Lowe, hiring Stephen Schumacher. But like I said, and like what this stream was about, Dewsnip had to go. And that's the breaking news of today. Dewsnip had to go, and he's now officially gone. Like I said, we wouldn't be in the Championship right now if it wasn't for Dewsnip's contributions. So, obviously, I know I've been very critical of him lately, but I can thank him for everything he's done for the football club. He's got us from League 2 to the Championship. I have to thank him for that. But he had to move on. Foster was a disaster. Rooney was a disaster. So, there you are. Plymouth 1, Oxford 0 tomorrow. I hope you're right, Charlie. I hope you're right. What's my score prediction? I'm going to say a 1-0 or 2-0. I mean, we have to win tomorrow. Even if it's a 0-0 tomorrow, Oxford are laughing. We have to win tomorrow. And I think we're the favourites for tomorrow as well. So we've got to make sure we provide that we are the capable favourites by winning tomorrow night. Believe, Jackie boy. Believe. I did wish the tie was at Anfield so you could go there. I mean, it'd be amazing. You know what? If anyone, I would do it. I'd try and make a poll on this, but I'm not on StreamYard. Would anyone like me to tick off, if I can, this season or the start of next season, just because of the FA Cup tie? Would anyone like me to tick off Anfield at the end of this season or start of next season as a neutral fan? To tick off and do a video of, because I think I may as well, since we're now playing Liverpool in the FA Cup. So I'm gonna make an account. I will make an account with Liverpool Football Club. This might sound really crazy because they're not my favourite team and the slightest, because I know they don't like Chelsea. But the truth is, if we're gonna play Liverpool in the FA Cup, I really want to tick that ground off, because if it wasn't for the replays being scrapped and we take them to a draw, we'd be going to Anfield anyways. It'd be such a good video to make. Obviously, it'll be hard to try and get a ticket, not because of the fan base Liverpool has, but probably because of how much they are. So I'd have to save up and have a look at it. Because I would like to, now that we're playing them in the FA Cup, I think it's right for me to tick off Anfield some point soon, before any of the other big grounds. It just makes sense, doesn't it? I was actually planning to tick off Everton at the start of the season at Goodison Park, because there was a game they had in the Carabao Cup against Southampton, where I am now. Southampton, I don't think, sold out that Carabao Cup game as well. And I would have ticked off Goodison. But I'm not too bothered because it's Everton's final season at Goodison Park anyways, and I want to properly judge Everton as an away day at their new ground, since they're going to use it next season anyways. So that's that really. My Luton mates have said Newcastle is one of the best away days they've done when they were in the Prem. I'd love to do Newcastle away. Typical Gareth, obviously being pessimistic about us. I hope we slap QPR on Saturday. I hope we fucking slap QPR on Saturday. Oh, by the way, Gareth, I've got a bone to pick with you. You literally went onto my comments the other day and saying, oh, calm down, you only just beat Brentford. You should be celebrating our victory against Brentford. You bloody hate Brentford if you're a bloody QPR fan. Unbelievable. Honestly. Anyways, Charlotte's joined. Hello. What's the Janner of Plymouth said? 1956, the last time we beat Liverpool. Yeah, it's a long time ago. It's a long time ago. Let's just see what happens. I just want to enjoy the day. What's he also said? You stood outside Exeter's grounds. I have. Annoyingly, I have been to that shit place before. I have been to that shit stain before, so he's not wrong there, the Janner of Plymouth. You just got to tick them off, haven't you? You got to tick them off. Regarding that video in December, I only did it because Liam and Rosevere wanted to tick off the tin pot place. So that's why we did it. That's why we did it, just so we can take the piss for 90 minutes, just for the pure bads. Exeter has got Nottingham Forest, that is true. I hope Forest wallop the bastards. I hope Forest absolutely wallop the bastards when they play them. Nottingham Forest, if you wallop Exeter at the Tin Pot St James's Park, not a proper St James's Park like Newcastle's, the Tin Pot St James's Park, if you do that for me, Forest, I hope you go on and win the cup. So then I can celebrate you guys winning it by knocking those scummers out. So there we are. Yeah, both rejected for Whittaker. They were both rejected it. But that's what I mean, like, we cannot afford to sell Whittaker to Hull. Because if they bid again, we have to reject again. We can't sell Whittaker to Hull. They're a relegation rival. Burnley is fine, Hull is not fine. Simple as that. Simon Drain, hi mate, Norwich fan here. Can't wait to visit Home Park again in April. I think your cup game against Liverpool will be on TV. That's what a lot of people think at the moment. We'll see. You know what wouldn't surprise me? You know what wouldn't surprise me, by the way? If it was on BBC One, Argyle Liverpool, and Rooney was in the TV studio. It'd just be typical, wouldn't it? It'd just be typical. By the way, I still love Wayne, by the way. He put up an Instagram post the other day saying well done, a massive well done to Joe Edwards and Nance about our victory at Brentford. So it just shows that despite it ended disastrously with Rooney, he does love the club still. And I'm so glad he left by mutual consent and not sacked. It was the right decision, and he still loves the club. And I still thank Wayne, at least, for trying what he could with our football club. He just had to move on. He still loves this football club anyways. So, yeah, it's good to see Rooney providing support for us and the Greens when he's no longer our manager. So, yeah, there we are. We haven't got Philogene yet, mates. I thought Ipswich had Philogene. It must be rumours then. I thought they signed him. Oh, interesting. Yeah, no. Obviously, biasly, I would say Cooper's the best keeper in the league, but I just can't fault how good Johansson honestly is. They're both the two best keepers in the Championship. The speech from Muslich gives me hope. Agreed. Oh, God, these two have got Oxford to win tomorrow. Oh, my days. That would not be good at all. Are you going to Walsall away next season in League One? I bloody hope not. At least on the plus side, it'd be a new ground for me. But no, we've got to stay in this league. We have got to stay in this league, hands down. It's better for the South West. It's better for the Championship. It's better for everything. The people that just want Argyle relegated are just people who just don't care about our region of football and just wish it's all London and the North. Oh, I don't know. We'll see. Hopefully we do it. Hopefully we prove all those bookies wrong and all sorts. And I will believe that we will do it. I will believe that we will do it. Because there's no way in hell I'm going to predict us to get relegated. I just can't. It just daggers my heart. If so, the only time I properly would is if we were ever make the Premier League. So then I'd understand it. But we'll see. We'll see. Anfield would make a great video. 3-2 Argyle. Can't wait to beat you 3-0 again in May. Leeds fan. Well, that's what I mean. We've got to survive before that last day. We've got to survive before that last day because we never beat Leeds, both home and away. I'm just praying that Leeds get automatic promotion before they play us, so then they can rest 75% of their squad. We'll see. We'll see. It was an upset too. Not many clubs can say they've been a top Prem club. Wouldn't say Brentford are a top Prem club. Well, like, it's a hard one for me to say about that because I predicted Brentford to go down this season. So I'm actually shell-shocked with the season they've had so far, to be fair. So you can look at it either ways, really. Forest 7, Exeter 1. Oh, that'd be so funny. That would be so funny to see Scum get hammered by Nottingham Forest. Did you hear Andre Gray went to a Turkish second-tier club? I didn't know, actually, Pie. So I hope he does well there. I didn't want him to leave. I couldn't believe he's gone still. I understood Gibson because I knew he wanted a challenge, but I didn't want Andre Gray to leave. We only just signed him and all that, so I'm still annoyed by it. But there we are, it's football. Oh yeah, Liverpool do have Forest tomorrow. And that's been a bogey ground for Liverpool over the years, the City ground. That's going to be interesting. I wouldn't be surprised if Cooper makes the England setup soon enough. Agreed. I'm an Oxford fan living in Torbay, so I don't want you guys to go down, but definitely want us to beat you guys tomorrow night. I mean, like, well, of course you are. If you're going to be an Oxford fan, and you're going to want to win your games, haven't you? But fair enough, though, Craig. I do appreciate that. It's a nice area, isn't it, Torbay? Yeah. That means two of your favourite clubs are two yellow armies in Oxford United and Torquay United. So, no, fair play. So I think that wraps up everything I need to cover from this stream, really. Hang on. Do you think Newcastle is going to get top 4? Then they very much could. I wouldn't rule it out. I think they're going to come 6th at the moment. I think it'll be them and Forest in 6th and 5th. I don't see anyone topping Liverpool, Arsenal, Chelsea and City. But I could be proven wrong. Forest could very much do it. Newcastle could very much do it. I do think they're the 6th best sides in the league. I do think they're the 6th best sides in the league. So we'll see. The only one I'm full on confident that will be in the top 4 is Liverpool, because I just think they're by far the best team in the league. And you know what? This might surprise people, but don't rule out Arsenal finishing outside the top 4. Do not rule out Arsenal finishing outside the top 4, because they are not looking good at the moment with all their players back apart from Saka and their penalty shootout defeat to Man United yesterday. Do not rule Arsenal out finishing outside the top 4, and that'll be Arteta gone if that happens. I think he's going anyways this summer. I really think Arsenal's going to get a new manager. This just depends on how much they want to be a trust the process football club. So we'll see. At the moment for me, it'll be Liverpool 1st, Arsenal 2nd, Chelsea 3rd, Man City 4th. I just don't see Man City finishing 5th or 6th with the squad of that calibre. It's just mental. I know they've had such a disappointing season so far, and the Champions League, they look off it as well, but I just don't see that squad finishing outside the top 4. It would be an absolute embarrassment for them. It'd be funny, it'd be amazing, but I just don't see it happening. They very much could, don't get me wrong, they very much could. If I'm saying if Arsenal could, then so could City, so could Chelsea, but I just don't see it happening. It would be amazing, like it'd be a brand new story and all that, but I don't see it happening. I think they're going to come 4th, but I do think this is going to be their worst season in years, yes. That's my top 4. Liverpool, Arsenal, Chelsea, City, in that order at the moment. Then I think Forest will come 5th. I think Newcastle will come 6th. For me, the race is who gets 7th, who gets the Conference League. For me, the race is who gets Conference League, and I'm torn between Bournemouth and Fulham. At the moment, I'm torn between Bournemouth and Fulham for that last conference spot, maybe Villa. I just think Villa's a bit inconsistent. I think they're going to miss out. I think Villa will come 8th as it stands. I don't see Spurs doing it. I don't see United doing it. They're both awful. Well, to be fair to United, they had a very good game yesterday, but the problem with United is that they only turn up for like the big games like Anfield away, the Emirates away. the Etihad when they won the Manchester derby, but everything else they don't turn up at all. United. So I still think they'll be. I don't see them getting Europe at all, and I don't see Spurs getting Europe at all. They're shocking. They're shocking right now. That still remains a disgrace that Tamworth aren't going to White Hart Lane now for the replay in the second half, in the second leg of Tamworth Tottenham. Should happen, but you can blame all the FA, you can blame the FA and all the big clubs for that, because it's just a joke from start to finish. What do you think about Beidou against Brentford? I'm excited for him. I'm very excited for him, to be brutally honest. I'm really looking forward to seeing what he does for the club now. Simply put, he'll start tomorrow against Oxford. I do think he'll start tomorrow. So that's that, really. I think Argyle will finish 20th. Very much could do. Interesting times ahead. Interesting times ahead. Matt Bloomfield is being linked to Luton. That's the manager who I hope goes to Luton, because I'm not sure if... I know Wickham's had a really good season, but I'm not sure if he's full on ready to take the Championship yet. So I wouldn't mind Bloomfield going to Luton, to be honest, because I don't want Luton to get someone like a Shuey or another top manager that's still available, like a Steve Cooper or something, and then I'm going to be worried as fuck. I'm going to show this comment because that's funny. Oh, okay. Welcome to the comment mail, Cornish Janner. There we are. Disappointed that Newcastle looks like they're not going to sign anyone. I hope we get Joe Lowe. Oh yeah, we are linked with him, aren't we? That's from Wickham, isn't it? Yeah, that'd be a massive signing for us if we signed him. He's a really good centre back, and that'd be more depth into the team then. How do you think Manchester United is going to finish? I think they're going to finish 11th or 12th as it stands. I do think it will be their worst season in years, but it's a hard one. It's a hard one. It depends if they can full on now turn their form around from the performances they've had lately at Liverpool and Arsenal. So we'll see. We'll see. We'll see. For me, it's between Fulham and Bournemouth for that last Europa League spot. Conference League spot, I mean, sorry. Imagine Bournemouth getting Europe. It would be mental. It'd be so good it'd be so good for the sport. It'd be so good for the sport to see that club get Europe. I know Fulham's had Europe before. I've seen them finish 7th before, back when they had Roy Hodgson as manager in 2009. We'll see. We'll see. Time will tell. So that wraps up the end of this stream, really. Who do you think West Brom's manager is going to be? See, I can see Shuey going to West Brom. They're all saying he could be going to West Brom, but I don't know. I know they've been in for Luke Williams from Swansea at the moment, but I don't see Luke Williams leaving Swansea. I'll be brutally honest. I don't know. We'll see. So yeah, that's the breaking news, guys. Neil Dewsnip has, do you reckon Liverpool will keep Trent? No, I do think he's going Real Madrid, yeah. Salah, I think, will stay, though. I don't see Salah leaving the club. So I think next season will be Salah's final season at Liverpool, depending on what the club offers them. But we'll see. We'll see. But yeah, that's the other news I wanted to bring, is that because the replays have been scrapped on the FA Cup now, I'm going to try end of this season or start of next season, if I can, take myself on a trip to Anfield and tick off Liverpool as an away day in a neutral. If you are in the Spoons tomorrow evening, I'll buy you a pint. If you want to meet me, Craig, if you want to meet me tomorrow afternoon anywhere between 3 o'clock and 5:30, or 5 o'clock, sorry, because I've got to go to Turnstiles before I go to the game, and I've got to be in there for 5:45 because I'm going to be travelling tomorrow morning, so I know I need to get back and all that. So yeah, if you want to meet me, Craig, meet me around those times where I know I'm free. If you do want to come on the channel and all that, from your perspective on how you think Oxford's going to get on tomorrow night. So yeah, that's the breaking news. How many League Two Prem clubs have you been to? I've got to go soon, but I can't just ignore these questions. These are really good questions. The Prem, obviously I've done Chelsea. I know that for a fact. I've done Brentford. I've now done Fulham. I've done Brighton. I did it when I was at uni. I've done Southampton, I've done Ipswich, I've done Leicester, I've done Wolves. I've been to all the grounds, but I mean, I'm just on about the clubs that I've actually ticked off proper for a game. I will say this now, I've got an upcoming video coming up. That was a Premier League club I ticked off at. You're going to see that when it gets uploaded. I'm not going to say who it is now, though, because I'll spoil it for you all. But you can have a guess on who it is if you like. But I did tick off a new ground yesterday, and you're going to see that when that video comes out. League 2. What clubs have I done in League 2? That's currently in League 2, as it sounds. I've done Morecambe. I know I've done Morecambe. That's one of my favourite away days, Morecambe away. I'm trying to think. I've done Cheltenham. I've done Morecambe. I was meant to do Gillingham while I was at uni, but the storm fucked me up. I would have gone to that 2-0 win at Priestfield. I think that's it. I need to tick off more League 2 grounds. I know I need to tick off more League 2 grounds. I've only done Morecambe and Cheltenham, as far as I know. As far as I'm concerned. As far as I know, I mean, yeah. I've been to a lot of these grounds. I just haven't ticked them off yet as a football game yet. The one I want to tick off soon, though, is Swindon, because it's not too far from me. And I want to see how Holloway's getting on. But I'd have to find a different day to do Swindon to an Argyle game, of course. I'm trying to think, who else have I done in League 2? Not done Carlisle. I'd like to tick off Carlisle. It looks like... I've been to their ground, just not for an away day. It looks like a proper football ground, Brunton Park. I think it's only Morecambe and Cheltenham that I've done in League 2. Who else got relegated from League 1 last season? Fleetwood. I haven't done Fleetwood yet. And I haven't done Port Vale yet. I think they're the only two, Cheltenham and Morecambe. Oh, I didn't realise. I mean, I'll go through too many. What's for tea, Jack? I don't know yet, Robert. I don't know yet. Don't do Swindon. It's a shit. I've got to tick them all off, though, Craig. You're an Oxford fan. You're an Oxford fan. Of course you'd say that. Yeah, no, come on. Fair enough, fair enough. My favourite away day, I'm going to probably get a lot of stick for this since I don't like them. And the fact that I'm in Southampton right now saying this. But my favourite away day I've ever done is Pompey. In every single way possible, it's the best away day in the country. I know a lot of people actually say we're one of the best. I know a lot of people say we're one of the best away days in the country. Like Callum Fowler's called us the best football club for an away day, and I appreciate him a lot for that. If you want to do Plymouth away, you've got to do it properly. You've got to go to the Hoe, you've got to go to Cornwall, you've got to go along the coastline, you've got to go to the Barbican and have a pub and get a pint, go to the Fish and Chips Harbourside, you've got to go to the Hub Box on the Royal William Yards to get a proper burger and chips, and then enjoy the atmosphere of Home Park. If you want to do Plymouth away, you've got to do it properly. And I recommend staying the one night as well, so you can then do all this. Because it's... I don't want to sound too biased, but we are genuinely one of the best away days in the country. For all those reasons why. And you get Cornish pasties. So there's nothing like it. It's all that far journey for everyone else that's worth it. No wonder Callum Fowler... really likes our away day. So yeah, but no, my favourite away day personally, like I said, this is going to get a lot of stick, but it's Portsmouth. Because I can't stand them, they can't stand me, they can't stand us. But I can't deny what a fantastic away day it honestly is. You got the Spinnaker Tower, you got the whole coastline around Portsea Island and all that. Fratton Park's atmosphere is literally electric. And you banter them all 90 minutes. And considering they're, for me, our second biggest rivals behind Exeter, I always look forward to the day. Pompey away. And we've got them still. We've got them in March. Just after my dad's birthday on a Tuesday night. And I'm going to be well up for it and pumped up for it. If I can, I'm going to try and stay in Portsmouth on the Monday as well. Because I just want the proper whole day out there just to enjoy it. And just get that Dockyard Derby feeling and all that. So, yeah. What's the worst Argyle match you've ever been to? Oh. probably Norwich this season. Genuinely this season. No, it's fine, Josh. It's fine, Josh. I know I've got stuff to do, but it's fine. These are decent questions, really good questions, and I love. Thank you for that, Alex. I appreciate that. Norwich this season was shocking. Not just because we got battered, but the staff there were fucking useless. The lot of them, and basically, to put it bluntly, they put so much. The way they treated our away fans that night was disgusting. Absolutely disgusting. Honestly, I know we scored there, but yeah, it was just Norwich and Cardiff this season they're up there for how bad they honestly are. If I was going on last season, I'd say Preston at home because it was really toxic and everyone wanting Foster out and all that. Wembley was bad, but at least for Wembley, it wasn't a league game. I'd rather be more pissed off at a league game than a cup final like that. And at the end of the day, I'd rather us get promoted to the Championship than win the Pizza Cup. And I know we were awful that day against Bolton, and I know it was bad, but at least I had the satisfaction of having the Wembley experience. So last season, Sheffield Wednesday was really bad, because the Vizu taxi after the game was useless because I was staying in Sheffield that night. And I was rightfully pissed off after that game. Because I didn't do many away days when I was younger. I didn't do a lot of away days when I was younger because of being at uni, COVID, college, all sorts. I didn't go to my first proper game until the 2015-16 season. I didn't go to a proper... 2015-16 was the first time I've ever went to a football match, and I was born in 1999, so that tells you everything. My first Argyle game was in 2016, and it was a home game against Cambridge, and we won 2-1. It was in League Two. Jordan Slew was playing for us. So yeah, that was my first ever Argyle game at Home Park, was that day. It was mental, because I couldn't go to the... I really wanted to go to that 2015-16 Peter Hartley day against Pompey, but I just couldn't, and I was in GCSEs when it happened. I watched it on the TV back in Cornwall that day, and it was incredible. And I've got the frame of Peter Hartley now. I've got it for Christmas, so I'll show you guys in that, where I've hung it up in my room when I get back to Plymouth. Which Argyle kit is your all-time favourite? 21-22. I've still got the shirt. I know it's a bit recent, but I'd have to say 2021-22. That home shirt is an absolute masterpiece. And if we went up with it in the playoffs, it would have been even more special. Either that or the 2006-07 season when I was a kid. Bro is outside in just a hoodie. No, I'm not, Luca. I've got 3 layers on. I'm fine. But yeah, I'm comfortable. Oh, mental. That would be interesting. It's going to be interesting now this season. It's going to be squeaky bum time now between January and May on what happens now between the rest of this season. So I need to ask you this. West Brom versus Plymouth prediction at Home Park. I will be honest, that is... I hope I'm wrong on this, but that's one Home Park game I think we're going to lose. We have an awful record against West Brom. And last season against West Brom proved that as well. I think it'll be 2-0 though this time, not 3-0. Not that again. That was horrible. That was our worst home performance since MK Dons. But we could beat them. If Shuey's West Brom's manager, we could get revenge on them. So you never know. We'll see. But that's a club we do not have a good record against at all. And I genuinely mean that at all. Like Leeds, it's been such a long time since we last beat West Brom. So that'd be really interesting. We have to beat those 2 home games. Oxford, Cardiff, QPR, Derby, Sheffield Wednesday. I know Sheffield Wednesday are fighting for the playoffs, but the difference is their record at Home Park is honking. They haven't won at Home Park for years, so we know that's a must-win at home when we take on Daddy Rob's side. So yeah, anyways, I better leave it there because I have got stuff to do. I've got to get food, and then I've got to pack up for tonight to get back to Plymouth first thing tomorrow morning before that crucial game against Oxford. Josh's prediction is that I went to Crystal Palace. All I will say is Harvey's in the chat, so don't spoil it for me, Harvey. But Josh's prediction is that my upcoming video is Crystal Palace. You will find out because I have ticked off a new Premier League ground yesterday in the FA Cup. So we will see. We will see. See you all tomorrow. We're back in Janaland tomorrow. I'm in Southampton at the moment. I'm about to get food, and then I'm about to watch Millwall tonight on the TV with my friends that I went to uni with. And just have a chilled night, really, and get my next video uploaded. Very first thing tomorrow morning, about 5 a.m, 6 a.m, we're going back to Janaland. And we got the crucial game against Oxford. So we'll see you all then. Up the Janners, up the Argyle, up the Greens, up the Pilgrims, up the Plymouth. Come on, you boys in green. Green Army! See you all back at Home Park for that game against Oxford. 2 home games, Oxford and QPR. But the breaking news is Neil Dewsnip has left the football club. He had to go after the Foster and Rooney appointments. But thank you so much for everything, Neil. You've done everything you could for us. And not sure if we would be back in the Championship right now if it wasn't for you, basically. With all other contributing factors as well. Thank you for everything you've done, at least, Dewsnip. But you had to go. It was time to move on, but thank you for everything. And our fan base couldn't be more grateful. So there's that as well. And the other breaking news, as we all know, we've got Liverpool in the FA Cup 4th round. Going to be a mental game. And I just want to see passion of Joe Edwards against Virgil van Dijk. And it's going to be mental chicken oriental. See you all soon. See ya.